afternoon. It is 2:40 on Monday. We had a minimum day today. We get out, or the kids got out at 1. I just finished getting things done that I felt like I needed to do before I left today. I'm eating my key lime popcorn from Trader Joe's as a snack. And class-wise, we really didn't get much today. Minimum days go by really fast, and so in both of my core classes, the most that we got done is they took their first weekend wrap quiz and vocab activity on their own. That can take some kids a while, and then after that, we just started talking about the next theme in US history per TCI, which is the haves and have-nots. So we read the little introductory section on that. We talked it through, and then tomorrow we'll do yesterday's headlines to make sure they understand that. And when we finished talking about it today, it seemed like they had a pretty good grasp on it. So that's all we got done because that's how fast time flies. And yeah, so there's not really anything for me to show you there. I'm really just here to pat myself on the back with how I handled myself this weekend. I did no schoolwork this weekend, which is great because normally at this point in the school year where it's still early and you're still trying to get your bearings, like I am still at a place where I'm feeling the need to work over the weekend so that I feel prepared when the next week starts. And when I left on Friday, I left pretty much ready for Monday. Like I knew what I was doing, my slides were ready, there were no copies or anything that I needed to make. And so when I went home, I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Now I always say that and then something ends up happening. The one thing I did have to do is I did have to send an email yesterday, which really needed to go out yesterday so that the rest of the staff saw it this morning, just letting them know that we had our first, or we will be having our first union site rep meeting tomorrow, and letting them know if they had any site concerns to let me know ahead of time. So that was kind of necessary, but also not a big deal. But aside from that, I did no schoolwork. I slept in because I was able to and I wanted to. I did all the things that I need to do, like went to Trader Joe's and worked out and all laundry and all those kinds of things, but no work was done. I had started the series on Apple TV called Loot with Maya Rudolph. I finished that. Took some naps, walked Riley, wasted a lot of time scrolling through TikTok, spent time with family. And aside from that, I can tell you what else I did. I just relaxed. I was basically LaTanya and not Miss Robinson. And that was something, I think last year I came up with that concept where on the weekends, I just want to be LaTanya. I don't want to be Miss Robinson in any kind of way, meaning that I'm only doing things that LaTanya needs to do and not doing things Miss Robinson needs to do. And the fact that you know, the dentist really is trying to get a hold of me. Hold on. Hello? Yes.
Hi, we're just calling to remind you of your appointment for Wednesday, August the 24th at 5:15.
Yes, I got it.
All right, we'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye. I mean, they really wanted to make sure everyone had that appointment. That is the third time they called, and normally they just call and leave a message. Yeah, so the fact that I was able to do that second weekend into the school year is very promising. I don't know if that means I'm just really on top of things this year, 2 weeks in, or I'm just really committed. I'm at a place in life where I'm like, I cannot just be working myself to death. I need to rest. And I have been feeling so tired these past 2 weeks, like tired as if the school year is months in, and to the point where I'm like, I bought some B12 supplements over the weekend to kind of help with that, and I'm getting enough sleep. Like my goal is always to get 7 hours at minimum, and for the most part every night I'm getting 7 hours or very close to it, maybe 6.5 here or there, but I would just wake up feeling not rested and just kind of feel tired throughout the day. And so I got the B12 supplements, but I also think, like I was telling someone as we were walking in this morning, I think I feel tired like that, as I'm sure other teachers do, because if you really think about it, we really haven't been able to rest over the past 3 years. Like, we've just been responding to different levels of crises and teaching over the past 3 years, and I think it's all catching up. and like mentally, emotionally, and physically, like I'm tired, and I just haven't had a summer where I'm just rested. And then, as you guys know, I was busy this summer, and I still am kind of busy with this project. It's kind of at a standstill right now, but that consumed a lot of time. I taught summer school, that took some time. So I just never got properly rested. So hopefully the B12 works. Luckily, I still feel like I have 2 great classes. You know, they're doing great. And yeah, I'm just really proud of myself for actually not doing any work this weekend, with it only being the 2nd weekend of the school year. So I really wanted to share that. Also, tell me what you think. I'm not experimenting with my hair. I've worn my hair like this before, and by like this is just my hair in its absolute natural state. Like, essentially, I washed it yesterday, did a hair mask. I use all the Pattern products from Tracy Ellis Ross. Did a hair mask, put some leave-in conditioner, and then put some of that Cantu curl conditioner, I think it's called, in my hair, and let it air dry yesterday. Oh, I also had a 90-minute massage yesterday. That was great. And then by the time I went to bed, it was dried. I put it up in my 2 little Afro puffs, woke up, and now when I took it down this morning, in case you don't know, when you're wearing, if you're a black woman, in a lot of cases with 4C hair, wearing your hair in its natural state, and you put it up in its little puffs, and you put your bonnet on, and you go to bed, and you wake up in the morning, it's all just kind of smushed in places, and you just don't know if it's gonna puff itself back out to where you need it to be. So I was scrambling a little bit this morning when I was like, I don't know what my hair is gonna do, but it all came out fine. And I came to work and I asked one of the other black ladies on campus how my hair was, and she said it was cute. But I think it's just so sad that I still feel like somewhat compelled to be like, is my hair okay? Because why wouldn't it be? This is my hair. This is the hair God gave me. If my hair was straight, I wouldn't be asking that or questioning that. So it's just sad that even though I've been in my natural hair for, I don't even know, like it's been a couple years, not like this, like just with it not in a weave or whatever because of COVID, there's still this feeling of like, is this all right? Am I okay? And I just need to stop asking that question and just be like, it is okay. It's all right. So yeah. But this is one of the things I'm doing. This is also one of the ways I'm trying to buy myself time, because when I do my twist outs, like I've said a few times in more recent vlogs, that's a 2-hour process of me washing it, conditioning it, twisting it, all of that. And I just want my life to be easier. I just want more time to rest. And even though doing my hair is not work, in some ways it is. So what do you guys think? I posted my story on Instagram this morning. Several people have said they liked it. Speaking of Instagram, I'm sure you noticed if you watched the last one. I think what I'm gonna try and do is just add the clips of my Insta stories that I do every morning to share my outfits, because I have people that continue to ask if I can share my outfits of the day. Like way back when I first started vlogging, I used to do that every single morning. Like I would share that in the vlog, and then I just stopped doing that because I was sharing them through Insta stories and I felt like it was redundant. But I'm aware not all of you see the stories because you either don't follow me on Instagram or you just miss it because they expire. So I think what I'm gonna try and do is on the days that I do vlog, add the clip of the Insta story so you can kind of see. So today you'll see this if you haven't already. But yeah, that's it. I think I'm gonna go home soon. It's at 3 o'clock. I don't even know who this Latanya is. And I need to go to Ulta maybe to get some eyeshadow. Possibly the mall, I haven't decided. But I need some more MAC eyeshadow. But a part of me wants to see if I can find something similar at Ulta. We shall see. And I'm having a walk with my friend later. I may or may not bring Riley. Just depends on the mood he seems to be in. But that's it. Smooth Monday. No complaints. Week 3. I'll talk to you soon. I don't know if it's gonna be tomorrow, but it's gonna be soon. What? It is 6:45. You may hear the jingle jangle. Riley pretty much stalking me. Riley! I came up here for nothing. Stalking me at this point because He knows we're going on a WALK. And as I was ironing my clothes for tomorrow, I realized I didn't vlog. That was not my intention. But also at the same time, there wasn't much to share. We're really just trying to get through iReady testing, getting through the themes and history. We're doing yesterday's headlines every day, and that's taking some time. And I kind of had a moment yesterday where I was like, I feel bad that this is taking so long. But at the same time, I couldn't fathom, and I still can't fathom, giving my class all 7 themes at once and expecting them to really retain it, especially if this is something I want them to constantly be thinking of as we go throughout these lessons. So I'm just remembering to take my time because it's necessary. So there's that. Also, fun fact, Taylor and I both had polka dots on today on accident. She had on a polka dotted dress. I have on this Tabitha Brown skirt that I should be showing you the Insta story of if I haven't already at some point in this clip. And then after that, after school I had duty, and then I had a union meeting, the first union meeting of the school year. And did some things in my classroom, and then I came home. So I'm really just here to say hi. Trying to check in so that you can see my outfit. That's really the motivation. But yeah, that's it. I'm just getting ready to take Riley on a walk. My house is clean, thank God. It hasn't been cleaned by the cleaning lady in a month because she couldn't come the last time. So that got done today, and that's always refreshing. I have leftovers for dinner from Trader Joe's. I'm really not mad at me not having to cook. I got the stuffed peppers again that I really like. And that's really it. Let me take this little one out, shower, relax, because I have to get up early in the morning because I have Orange Theory, and that means I have to be up by 4:20 in the morning. So just wanted to say hi. I will try and check in. I will try and remember to check in tomorrow. I don't know why the days are just getting away from me, but see you. Good morning. It's Monday morning, and it is days later. I honestly don't remember the last day that I vlogged. I want to say it may have been like Tuesday, like almost a week ago. What is this, a piece of hair doing something I don't want it to do? And I don't really have an excuse aside from there wasn't a whole lot that I felt compelled to vlog last week, just because a lot of the time was spent last week like making sure they were done with iReady testing and STAR testing, and what we were doing in class was not anything new. So there wasn't anything that I felt like, oh, I gotta get this on camera. Hold on, I can't talk and log in at the same time. And then I would have intentions to vlog, and then I would forget. I had a dentist appointment last week. My teeth are in great shape, except for this one little spot in the very back of my mouth where I'm not quite getting to where I need to be. I mean, I've been told this before, but I need to get a water pick, because like there's this one little spot where it like deteriorated a piece of my gums, and the hygienist was like, once it's gone, that little piece of your gums won't grow back. And it was nothing major, but she's like, I would just get like a water pick so that you can get to those hard to reach areas. So I need to do that. But other than that, my teeth were in good shape. And then I went to happy hour on Thursday with Liza and Taylor. I had every intention of getting at least a clip of that so you guys could see Liza and Taylor. But then, you know, I got there and we started talking and I forgot. And then Friday came and I had some situation I had to kind of talk through after school, and then I had a manicure appointment that I had to hustle off to, and by the time I got home from that manicure appointment I was done. But here's the new nails. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I wanted something that still kind of felt like maybe they were summer nails, but not like summer, because summer is coming to an end. And then this weekend I didn't upload one because I knew I only had a couple of days worth of footage. I didn't really think it was gonna be worth much. I even vlogged on Saturday, but then decided not to use that footage. And I've had a bit of a break in this mysterious project that I have continuously alluded to, but that break is now over, and so I had to spend my weekend kind of just focused on that. And so we are back in a situation where I don't know how consistent the vlogs are going to be for the next few weeks. I know that I'm going to try my best, but I don't know how much I'll get in there. So good morning. I'm going to try my best to do better this week. I don't know how well that's going to go because my battery's already dying, and I don't think I brought my charger, so there's only so much I can do today. But good morning, and I'll save this battery and try and talk to you guys later. Good afternoon. It is 4:15. I'm going to be leaving soon. Very proud of myself for that. But I wanted to use the last little bit of battery that I have, hopefully, to kind of show you what we did today that is new and worth sharing because it is new. So we have adopted TCI History Alive, which is the new social studies / history textbook we've adopted. And one of the things the district absolutely wanted us to do before we got into like specific lessons is this geography challenge, or the geography challenges that I guess come with each unit or lesson. I'm not quite sure of the proper terms yet, because what they're learning is that kids don't know how to read maps and interpret maps. So the first thing that we've been doing is this lesson here before we start with the first unit, which focuses on early Americans and Native Americans pre-colonization. And so there's a little blurb here that we read together, and then there's a physical features map and a land claims map that represents the same area of what eventually became North America. And then they have questions in their student workbook that they have to answer using the two maps. And so, true, what we've learned is that the kids really do struggle with kind of being able to answer questions that are based off of reading maps. And with this one in particular, they had to use both maps simultaneously sometimes. So like this question number 5, says locate and label the Rocky Mountains on your map, and which nation's land claims that these mountains mainly fall. So the first thing that we did is I kind of made sure they understood that this was a physical features map. So anytime they are asking about the physical features of that area, this is the map that you want to look at, whereas this one is the land claims map. And even just making sure they understand that they have to pay attention to the title of the map to know which one to use when was kind of important, because some kids are just ignoring the titles of the maps and then therefore looking at the wrong map at the wrong time. So for question 5, they had to find the Rocky Mountains on this map and then kind of transfer where they saw the Rocky Mountains on this map to this map to know which of these countries claimed ownership of that area. So there was definitely a lot of pausing, like refocusing, re-explaining, and reminding. And I think we started this on Friday, and by midway of the class today, I feel like they were getting better versed at being able to read the maps and use them to answer some of these questions. And then on top of that, reminding them that some of the questions they're asking you are based strictly on looking at the map, but heaven forbid, some of the questions are also pieces of information you have to gather from here that I read. So just like saying, maybe you want to go back to the little section we read, because if the information that they're looking for is not on one of these maps, chances are it's in the passage, the little tiny passage that we read together on Friday. So I can definitely see the need to kind of hone in on that. And I was telling one class today, like, this is probably a part of social studies lessons that your teachers just kind of skipped over. I know I've done it, where I'm teaching a social studies lesson and there might be a map that they show. I might like quickly refer to it or have kids look at the title, but I don't know that I've ever sat and spent a significant amount of time like interpreting whatever the map is that they are showing us with that lesson. So that was a big chunk of the day. It is September the 1st, the first payday of the school year. Hallelujah, praise be. It's 9:47. I'm on my prep period. I do believe I vlogged earlier this week. I've kind of lost track because it hasn't been super consistent. And the reason for that is, you know, I've been alluding to this big project that I've been working on, and there was a pause there for a period of time, so I wasn't working on it because the school year started and there were some other things going on, and then that pause stopped in the past week and I had to kind of refocus on that. But since then there's been new developments, and this big project may be in jeopardy of sorts at this point, and I kind of need to get that figured out in the next couple of days. And if I do, depending on what the result of me figuring out is, I will eventually be able to share with you this big mysterious project I've been talking about. And so I just kind of needed some time to, over the past couple weeks, to not vlog, to not edit and upload. I've just been kind of what I would call feeling like in a funk of sorts, and I couldn't really identify why. Just kind of overwhelmed, but not overwhelmed by anything. Like, I'm pretty much caught up and on top of things at work. There's nothing super out of the ordinary happening in my personal life, but I just kept having this sense of like, not doom, but like something like it, like just anxious or anticipating or something. And so I've just been working through that. I'm okay, but I'm just kind of stressed. And so again, I'm just really trying to be diligent about like paying attention to those times and alleviating myself of anything that I can when I can. So the past couple of days, what has been going on, we started our first real TCI lesson. We finished talking about the 7 different themes of history according to the TCI book, and then yesterday and the day before we got into the first actual lesson. We're still very much in the early stages. I will say, even though I haven't done much with it this year, I did play around with it last year, and I still like the book. It's definitely a step in the right direction. There's a couple teachers on campus that teach the same subject matter I teach, and they're a lesson or 2 ahead of me, and they really like it as well, so I'm feeling optimistic. So we started our intro section yesterday, and we did a geography challenge before that where we learned kids really can't read maps. And like kids, you tell them what time period you're talking about, but you have to really remind them, because one of the questions was asking them, you know, if you found yourselves in front of the Appalachian Mountains, what's the best route you would take to kind of get around it? And they knew that we're talking about, they knew because we told them, and the book said, we are in early Americas, like Christopher Columbus hasn't even stepped foot, or an explorer hasn't even come to colonize. And some of the kids said that you could take the Oregon Trail around the Appalachian Mountains. So then me and the 8 that I work with had to say, well, you can't take the Oregon Trail because the Oregon Trail didn't exist, and it's not even the area where the Oregon Trail would be. So that's kind of what's been going on. I turned the camera on because I thought I had more time than I do to vlog. The bell rang, so I'm gonna pick up the kids. I'm gonna try and check in with you and kind of finish my thoughts at some point today, but I do have an IEP right after school, and then I'm supposed to go to happy hour, so we shall see. But hi and bye. It's the end of the day. It's almost 3. I ended up not having to go to that IEP because Taylor is covering this one, because I will be covering the next one that we have in a couple weeks. We do try and alternate based on, we try to alternate, and we always try and make sure the alternating is based on what the goal is a student has. And an IEP, if you don't know, is an individualized educational plan, and it's provided for students that have demonstrated that they have some sort of a learning block or learning difficulty that needs to be addressed, and that can be addressed with just special supports and accommodations. And so these meetings are kind of to touch base with parents to see if their child is making progress according to what the goals were. So she's covering this one. I have the next one, which is going to be September the 15th, I believe. But I'm getting ready to leave, because now that means I can get to my little happy hour relatively on time. And I can't even remember where I left off this morning. I think I was just kind of letting you know that I've been a little disheveled and discombobulated lately. And I don't know if I mentioned, but the kids are now at the beginning. Like I told them yesterday, like this is the real beginning of language arts instruction, because they're doing their first study sync assignment on the monkey's paw. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the monkey's paw because I've talked about it multiple times over the years now, but this is their first time responding to questions where they have to respond in what is called the race format, where they're restating the question they're being asked, answering the question, making sure to cite text evidence in their answer, and then explaining why their text evidence proves what they said the answer to the question was. And this is not something that's new, but I feel like what you realize is that every teacher kind of teaches that differently and goes in different levels of depth. And so sometimes you have some kids where they didn't really have to do that too much in their previous classes, so it's all new to them. And then some kids struggle because it's just a struggle for them to write and to be able to produce that kind of academic work. And then some kids are fine. So one of the things I'm trying this year for students that need extra support is I'm having them answer one question at a time using a Google Doc. And then when they finish the first question, they will verbally let me or the teacher's aide that I work with or the RSP teacher that I work with know. So there's 3 adults that are in this room at any given time during certain periods of the day. And then once they indicate that they've finished the first question, they share the document with us, and then I have been the one really going into the document and reading how they've responded to the first question, and then using the comments feature on Google Docs to kind of give them some feedback. Then they're told, take that feedback that I'm providing with you and adjust as necessary. And then once they do that, they will take their answers from the Google Doc that has been reviewed by me or Mr. Martin or Mrs. that has been reviewed by me or the teacher's aide or the RSP teacher that I work with. They should have then revised it based on any feedback we gave, and then what they're putting on Study Sync reflects that assistance there. I feel good about that process because when we do have meetings with parents and we're talking about their child's progress, especially if the goals that were set were in writing, what the parent is actually able to see is student work, that their child's work that was produced with some help, but still there was a portion of it where the student was independent, where they had to kind of take some constructive feedback and then apply it to their writing. I don't know if I explained that in a way that made sense, but that's what we did. So it's pretty quiet most of the day, and then the second hour that I am with each class, we were actually in the library. So nothing to vlog there. This was their first library trip of the school year, so they were told my whole procedure with them having to read a chapter book a month. So I do require my kids to take 1 AR test a month because we need them to be in the habit of reading and comprehending a full chapter book as they get ready for high school. And this is my effort in doing that. So they get to pick out 3 books from the library, but they only have to pick 1 that's going to be their AR book to test on. So we went over the requirements of that. This year I'm not allowing students to check out a book that is below 4th grade level. That's the statement that I'm making. There are some kids that may be doing that, but I know that because they have some difficulty with reading comprehension. I don't really put a cap on how high they can go because that's never really the issue. The issue is really kids checking out these books that are well below their reading level. So I made that clear. They cannot switch books. If they do, they have to come check in with me. I'm either going to say, yes, you can switch it, or no, based on the reason they want to switch it. And they have to fill out a Google form at the beginning of every month that says, this is the book that I'm reading. And then by the last Friday of the month, they have to actually test on that book. I take their test score, and I put that in the grade book after confirming the book they tested on is the book they said they were going to read. It's a whole thing. So we talked about that before we went to the library. And then that's pretty much it. So that was my day. My leadership class, I'm going to try and talk about that more because I feel like some people are curious about that, but I don't talk about it a ton. We're a little stressed. Our first rally is coming up next Friday. It was supposed to be last Friday, and I quickly realized we are not prepared for that at all. It's next Friday. It's just for 6th graders, which is nice because I tell the leadership class, because they're nervous at this point because they've not done 1 rally at all, that it's nice that the first rally that they produce is for 6th graders because the 6th graders don't have anything to compare this to. Like, they've never seen a rally before, so whatever we do is probably going to be fun for them. But it's still stressful for me because right now the scripting department is a little bit on the struggle. We need to develop the script a little bit more, and we're already short on time. Like, the MCs need to have time to have a finalized script to practice with, and we need to have time as a class to run through the entire rally, and there's little parts of the script that are feeling very scant. So during leadership today, I actually jumped in there and put in some scripting pieces, but I did tell them, like, guys, like, I'm a little concerned right now, and I should not be in here scripting any of this rally but we're kind of at that point, and said, now I'm giving you a little grace because I know this is your first script and you've never done this before, but at the same time we need to be focused on our task, because I think they get distracted by, well, what about this and what about this game, and every group has something that they're focused on. So it was just a matter of me reminding them, like, we're not really worried about the logistics of how that game is going to work because that's the games committee responsibility. So that's the other thing. So that's it. I need to get going so I'm not late for happy hour. I also, oh, I forgot to show, I received an Oscar today. Right here. And if you can't see, it says, I think Best Reels by a Teacher 2022. This was given to me by one of the PE teachers, one of the most supportive people I know, and very fun. She helped Taylor and I filmed a TikTok that we put up yesterday that has really been entertaining for some people. It's about the premise of the TikTok is what students expect us to do when they turn in a piece of late work. I'm not gonna say much more than that. If you wanna see the TikTok, you're gonna have to follow me over there at Smarty Style. But she was our camera woman because we needed to get some action shots and we needed someone to film, and she did that for us. And you know, she's just been really impressed with the artistic abilities I've shown through these TikToks and these reels that I've been sharing this school year. So that is now on my desk and it makes me smile. So that's it. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna definitely talk to you guys tomorrow to close out the vlog. So I will see you guys then. I am currently at the point of vlogging where I don't even have any real certainty that what I vlog is even gonna see the light of day. I have not uploaded for the past 2 weekends. It's Monday, by the way. It's Monday, September the 6th. I have not uploaded for the past 2 weekends. First week, I didn't have enough footage. Last weekend, I was gonna combine the two, and then by the time the day was over on Friday, I felt terrible, didn't even feel well enough to turn on the camera to end the vlog. So if I edit all that footage together and put that vlog up, that one just ends abruptly, and by the time you see this, you would have already seen that if I actually edit it. But I'm trying to stay committed because it's what I do. But I am struggling right now. It is Monday, September the 6th. It's about 6 p.m. I obviously worked today, came home. When I woke up this morning, I knew I wasn't gonna vlog during the day. Like, I was just in a mood, and I think it's just hormonal. I'm 99.9% sure. And I just came off of Labor Day weekend where I wasn't feeling well, and I may even sound congested right now. To the point where on Saturday, I thought it was possible that I had COVID. I don't. I took a COVID test when I got home on Friday. It was negative, and then took another one just before I went to bed last night, and it was negative, so I'm good. But there is a cold going around, and I either have that or I'm starting to wonder if I've developed allergies or something. So I'm just here to say hello, and I'm here to hopefully be motivated to edit the vlog that has yet to go up, as well as this one that I'm trying to create, and just kind of document this moment, because I really think over the past couple of days, and I've known this, but it just feels more necessary right now, I really need to do some professional soul searching. And meaning that I don't really know what's coming next, but I feel like something has to change. Not because I don't enjoy middle school, because I do. Not because I no longer enjoy teaching, because I do. But because I think I'm just at a point in my professional life where I can no longer just stand on the sidelines and just kind of watch things go the way they've been going. Whether that be on a grand scale in terms of education, or on a smaller scale in terms of like where I work and what it's like there and the way things are handled. I like the demographic of students that I work with. There are quite a few people. That's kind of an exaggeration. I work with a lot of people, but I only know a handful. And so I can't say there's quite a few people that I work with that I like. I just don't really know a lot of them that well, and that is partially my doing. But I think that's a wise choice for me at this point. And just the past week I've had to deal with some issues, and in the process have just been kind of frustrated by the way some things have been handled, and just realizing that, I mean, I can be frustrated all I want and there's nothing I can do about it, but I think I'm at that point in my career where I can't just be like, oh well, anymore, and not feel compelled to like find a way to be able to assist or help make things better. So I feel like this year I have to really soul search. Like, what do you want to do, Latanya? Like, what's your next step in education? Where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you? What are you? And it's just kind of overwhelming to even think that I need to do that. And I don't know why it's overwhelming, but it just is. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And I think because I'm ignoring that voice inside of me that's saying it's time to do something else, or it's time to do more, that is causing some level of like emotional or psychological frustration. I don't know if it would be considered emotional or psychological at this point, but it's creating some frustration. So I wanted to get on camera and just kind of share that, because the past week or so has been just challenging. Like, I've just found myself in situations that I found challenging, and they didn't need to be. And I honestly think some of those situations is what actually caused me to get sick. Like, it was just the stress from those. So that's really it. This big project that I keep alluding to is just, it is kind of up in the air and not in the greatest of ways. Like, I don't know if I'm coming or going at this point. And that's really all I can say at this point. But that in and of itself is a lot of stress, and really just trying to manage decisions that need to be made there while teaching full time, while being the leadership teacher with the rally that's coming up. Is a lot. And I don't know that I've said it, but I don't know. I just don't even know what I've said at this point. I'm not even doing contract negotiations this year, and that is something I have done every time it comes up for the past, I feel like 7 or 8 years. I just chose not to do that because I just didn't have the time with the mysterious project and teaching. So yeah, I feel like there was something else I wanted to touch upon, but I just can't remember. It's just hot as I don't know what. I'm just like in a weird mental space professionally, and I feel like I've been in a weird mental space for a while, and it's not getting any better. It's just progressively getting worse, in the sense that it's just becoming more and more frustrating. A more and more frustrating place for me to be in. So yeah, but that's that. In other news, I hopefully remember to put a picture of my niece. Little Emery Elena, or Riri as I call her, wore one of my first outfits yesterday. And when I tell you, this girl is killing the game as a baby. She is. I mean, she is. I said it once, I'll say it again. She is truly a baby icon. And I just... I'm like not a baby person. Like, I mean, I don't dislike babies, but I don't just like fall to my knees at the sight of a baby or feel like I could just look at a baby forever. But this baby, I just look at her little face forever. Just a little nugget of cuteness. So she wore her little outfit. I posted that on Instagram last night. So that was great. And yeah, that's it. I feel like my nose is starting to get stuffed up, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna cross my fingers that you at least see this footage, and if I'm really on top of it, you'll see the footage from the last 2 weeks that I have done nothing with. So yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, where'd you get this from?
Oh, she gave it to me. Wow. Very nice.
From A&P? Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you guys worked together yet? You're friends now. She bakes, you play baseball. You do know you're making this assignment harder than it needs to be. This is a 2-person job. I mean, she could be looking up the geographic features while you look up the tools. I mean, you could be dividing and conquering this assignment and forming friendships at the same time. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Pictures.
No, I'm not taking pictures.
It is so like.
What? What's it? So what?
It's like.
She's wearing a skirt made of tree bark.
It's like the same. It's the same level.
Yeah.
The same as what?
The one thing
Because it says.
all I know is that it said tree bark, which made me kind of confused.
It's a basket for like those. And
We did have.
Are you? So you're saying? Are you having a hard time identifying? Is that what you're saying?
I
Because
guess.
of the similarity? Well, are you looking at everything? So her skirt is made of tree bark.
that's
This
cool.
basket is made for rinsing acorn meal and remove bitterness. This house, have you paid attention to the shape of it? It looks like it's made out of like straw or something.
potentially reads, like it says.
And are you think, what is this? You think it's this one and you're not sure?
I think it's this one. It's just the only thing that confused me was the tree skirt made of tree bark.
Of what? What confused you?
So what are we looking for? Main geographic features?
Then it said tree bark. That's the one.
Salmon, shellfish, deer, roots, berries, pine nuts, acorns. I mean, this is a basket for rinsing acorn meal. Cone-shaped houses.
That's a cone shape, probably.
Okay. Grass plants. What does that say?
Grass plants, leather strips, and animal
Okay.
hides.
This looks like it's made of plant of some sort. Baskets, sifters. Now, if they're using this to rinse something and remove bitterness, you're supposed to understand that's like a sifter, like a colander. Like water's coming through it, they're gonna rinse it for bitterness. So, I mean, it would be a logical conclusion. It's 5:07, it's Thursday, September the 8th. I just feel like it's crazy. Like, I just am losing track of when I'm vlogging and when I'm not. But I really wanted to vlog today because today was just, it was a good day. And what made today good? I just enjoyed both my classes. They did a good job with the assignment that they were working on. We had some fun with, what was it that we were doing? Oh, I was showing them our new callbacks for the month. So one of the things I got from the training I went to in Santa Fe was just making sure to change up like the attention getters, basically. I just call them callbacks because I like calling them that better. And so every month they suggest, or on a regular basis, they suggested changing them so that kids don't become desensitized to them. So we reviewed them, and these are the ones we're using this month. One that doesn't change is the one that says stop on a dime, and that's the attention getter or callback that they should just stop what they're doing automatically because I need their immediate attention. The other ones, they have like a 5-second window to kind of get themselves situated and quiet it down. So the first one, aside from the stop on the dime one, is, my arm is hurting. The first one says, I say as a teacher, when I say what's, you say up, what's up, what's up. They do that twice. The third one, I'm calling the Home Depot chair. I go tap, tap. They say nailed it. You do that one when someone gives a good answer in class. And then the traditional ones are the doorbell that I use, that, you know, a lot of teachers use. Clapping in a pattern, they repeat the clap pattern, and then counting down from 5. And so I was just at the point where I'm like, I don't know if these 8th graders want to do these, because sometimes they're just kind of like lackluster with them. But today, a couple of kids in both classes were like, oh, I have an idea, or I have a suggestion. So I was like, oh, they're coming up with ideas and suggestions, and so they must be into them enough to even care to make a suggestion. So since I had already put those up and selected those for this month, I said, I'll take your suggestions and they'll be on the list for next month. So we're gonna do that. That was fun.
practicing the suggestions they had. And then my homeroom class got to pull a stick out of their kerplunk jar, which they hadn't done in a while, and they were like convinced that they knew what stick to pull to make like some marbles fall. And honestly, I didn't really think that they were going to do it, because they're oftentimes convinced that they know which stick to pull, and it never ends up being quite the one. But today they pulled it, and I really thought all the marbles were going to come tumbling down, so they were excited. I was like panicking, like, oh God, I'm not ready for a party. And then they were feeling all good about themselves and giving the other class a hard time, and so we just had some fun. I also made a TikTok with some of my kids at lunch with Miss Lawrence. I did get parent permission to do that. I need to edit that and put that up. And then, like I said, in both classes, they did really good with the history assignment that we had. Now, unfortunately for my homeroom class, they were the guinea pigs. Like, we're working with TCI for the first time. And so this activity is great, but I had never seen it before, so I didn't know what kinks were gonna need to be worked out. And basically what they're doing is they are filling out this chart and looking at these artifacts and trying to decide what region these artifacts match. So this is the key, this is the key to the chart. So the chart was pretty, or is pretty involved, and it took them a while. And basically what they're doing is they're kind of looking at geographic features and main food sources and materials used for clothing and housing, and using the maps that have been provided for them in the book that we practiced with last week to kind of answer some of those questions, as well as being able to skim through different parts of the text. And then once they've been able to fill out that chart, they have to match all those characteristics of that particular group to this artifacts chart. So they come over here with their chart, and they're gonna see, oh, this person's wearing a bison skin robe. They have houses in teepee format. This is a tool that they use. It's a bow and an arrow. And they're gonna look at this and look at their chart and decide, these artifacts for placard B must match this particular group in this region. And so the first class, what we didn't realize is, and by me, I mean me, the RSP teacher that I work with, and the aide that works with both of us, we didn't realize it's probably better to have the kids sit at their seat, fill in the chart just by using the text first, and get all that information in there, and then look at the placards. Either I misunderstood the directions or the steps, or they weren't clear. And so the first class, they were really struggling, like with just trying to look at the artifacts, and then trying to look at the chart, and then trying to make decisions from there. So it was a little bumpy, but I did tell them, like, guys, it's gonna be bumpy because you've never done this before. I've never done this before. None of us have done it before. And it was bumpy. So by the time the second class came after lunch, we had figured that out, and it went much smoother. But all in all, I felt like they were doing a really good job with that. Like, just watching some of them look at the maps, trying to think critically about what the map is showing them, matching that up with the artifacts they were seeing. Like, I was hearing some really good conversation, so that made me happy. So that is what made today a good day. And then after school, I had a meeting with the people that went to the equity training in Santa Fe over the summer, as well as people that are on the committee but weren't able to go to that training. And I always enjoy having meetings like that, because that is work that's important to me. And that just ended not too long ago. I hosted it in my room. So now I'm getting ready to go home. I think I'm going to stop and get some garlic bread to go with my pasta from Trader Joe's, and then I have some things I need to do at home. So let's cross our fingers, you guys, that I'm gonna get this vlog edited either as one long vlog, or it'll be the second vlog that I get up this weekend. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say this now while I'm thinking about it. I really appreciate you being patient with me not uploading for the past couple of weeks. And I apologize if I'm repeating myself, if there's not good continuity between clips, because so many gaps of time are occurring. And hopefully, I hope to get back on track somehow next week. But life has just been really busy and overwhelming, not in a way that's detrimental to me, but just like in a way where I'm like, I can literally only do what is absolutely required. And so this is kind of taking a back seat, really editing the footage has really taken a backseat to that. So I gotta get out of here, but I'm gonna make the strongest effort to check in with you tomorrow, close this out, and then get back on track. So see you tomorrow. It's Friday, it is 5 o'clock. Excuse me if things might look amiss on my face. I can't really tell right now because my glasses have raindrops on them, because it's also raining. It's not cold, it's just kind of like tropical rain. But I just came from getting a pedicure and my eyebrows waxed and a lip wax, and she may have taken off some of my eyebrows. So if I look unaligned or like I'm missing something, that's why. I meant to vlog from my classroom today to kind of close out the vlog, but I had to take care of a couple of things after school and I ran out of time. So here I am in the car. And then while I was getting my eyebrows waxed, while you're just laying there having tiny little hairs ripped out of your face, you have time to think. And I really thought, like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like upload. Like, I need to just scrap it all and just try and start over tomorrow. So I don't even know if this is gonna end up anywhere, because I feel like I just have so many random clips over the course of the past 2 weeks that I don't know if it's gonna feel like cohesive in any kind of way, but we'll see. Either way, I'm gonna try and just reset and get back on it next week, but also remember to give myself some grace, because there's a reason why I haven't been able to get anything uploaded. 1 week was just, I was really busy. Then last weekend I got sick. But I think I've mentioned in one of the clips, like, things are just very busy right now. And that project that I'm always talking about is really picking back up. And so I have to just kind of manage my time differently. So if it's sporadic or there's gaps in the week, again, that's why. But yeah, today in class things went well. We continued working with TCI, where the kids had to look at these artifacts, really, which were just images of indigenous groups in, you know, pre-colonization America, and kind of figure out what geographic region they came from. And that took them a couple of days. And one class, they were really just going through it, just like, oh my God, this is so hard, I can't believe. And I think it's just, they're not accustomed to having like text or social studies work that really requires them to think in the way that they were being asked to think. But they got it done. And then we just worked together to start planning for the first essay of the school year, which is always on the monkey's paw. This year, I've decided that as a class, we're all gonna write the introductory paragraph and the closing paragraph together. And I don't think I've done that before. I feel like we've talked about it before. Actually, maybe I did do this before. We've definitely planned for the essay together, but I can't remember if I've actually said to them, like I did today, for this first essay, everyone's introductory paragraph and everyone's conclusion paragraph is gonna be exactly the same, because we're gonna write it together. So we started writing the introductory paragraphs today. And I just do it kind of as a table group competition, where they work as a group of 4 to come up with a solid intro paragraph. And then the group whose paragraph sounds like the most complete and effective and is well written gets table points. And today I was like, the group that has the best, or the group that I pick, will get 5,000 table points. And they were like, oh my God. So it always works. It just kind of makes something like that less stressful, because they get to work together as a group and get a sense of what an intro paragraph should sound like. And they always seem like they're really proud of like what they've created for the most part. So that is what we did today. And that's all I have to say. I got my pedicure, which was much needed, because I had to wear closed-toed shoes all week in the heat, but I had to because my feet were just not right. And finally got my eyebrows cleaned up and all of that. So that's it. It's raining. I'm gonna go home, take a little bit of a break, and probably try and do some stuff that I need to do. But I wanted to close the vlog in case I actually upload this. So if you enjoyed this vlog in whatever format it turns into, I don't know if it's gonna be one long vlog, I don't know if it's gonna be the second of 2 vlogs, we don't know. Give this vlog a thumbs up. If you're just happy to see me, because I know I've been missing for a minute, give it a thumbs up. If you want to support me, just give me some encouragement, a positive comment, anything. to keep me going would be appreciated. And as always, I hope that you guys are well, and if you are not well, please be well, and I will see you in the next vlog. Until then.